Hello, I'm Pamela Fagan Hutchins. If you know me at all, it's because I write mysteries and thrillers, half of them set in the beautiful state of Wyoming. And pardon me while I read a little of this, it's more than my brain can handle at once. When people talk about my style, they generally say rugged scenery, depth of characters, adventure, twists, and the way I can nail a surprise ending. Most of my books are PG-13, a few are R. I clearly mark those that are R. I try to stay away in the rest of them from gratuitous sex or excessive cursing or graphic violence. And one of my series, Patrick Flint, is really PG. It's a family drama mystery series set in 1970s Wyoming. I'm a USA Today bestseller and Silver Falchion Best Mystery winner, which is very validating, I'm not going to lie. But I also have over 3 million books in print, which is kind of otherworldly to me. Thank you for that, because you're part of it. In my books, you're going to see a genuine love of nature, wildlife, culture, the outdoors, and a variety of outdoor sports that is very consistent with who I am. You'll see that I believe in soulmates and families in every way they're put together. And as a former attorney, you'll also find that I love to explore the law and push boundaries of that law and law enforcement up to and through what is possible but not probable, with enormous respect for the U.S. Constitution upholding our American freedoms. I find a delicious tension in exploring ways in which people that we trust fail us, whether that's in relationships with public servants, clergy, police, teachers. Power imbalances are especially rich, at least I think so, at the same time as I have enormous respect for law and order and for the people that provide it. And I count police officers, military members, past and present, and people within our judicial system as family and dear friends. A world without conflict and with perfect trust in relationships would make for boring books. It makes for a great life, but boring books. What most people don't mention, but I think is at the heart of what I do, is that I write to theme. Sometimes theme sneaks up on an author while writing, but most of the time for me, it informs my stories. My process begins with setting, and by that I mean shared history, religion, culture, the national resources, the geography, then moves on to character, hones in on crimes, the victim, the perpetrators, the methods, the community and time period in which they occur, and then revolves around a message that I'm very clear on by the time I'm immersed in the brainstorming and outline stage of a book. So if you can discern those themes, you'll know what's at the heart of my characters and as perceived by me. And often that means that you know what's in my heart, which is scary to put out there for an author, by the way. I invite you, however, to look deeply into my books to see if you can figure out what I'm really saying. What is the meaning behind my meaning? Mysteries and thrillers, rooted thematically. What a concept. However, what you won't see is politics, as I don't attach myself in my writing or in real life to a political party. I am what you'd call a true independent. And that means that I have views and values that range a wide spectrum and can't be fenced in. I'm clearly, look at me, Caucasian. I have lived ties to Texas, Wyoming, Maine, New Mexico, Minnesota, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, with lengthy professional stints, thank you to my husband, in Denmark, California, and France. Those were huge growth and cultural opportunities for me. Within our family, we celebrate internationality, not just in our shared American roots, but in the representation today of first-generation U.S. citizens, a son-in-law from Sweden, a niece and nephew from India, a daughter-in-law whose parents are from Cuba and Venezuela, and other family members. I'm just not going to list them all. Thus, I hope in my books you explore different points of view in relatable ways that enlarge hearts, while also expressing a wide variety of American values consistent with my lived experience, because we're nothing as writers if we're not able to portray with authenticity what we write, and that means that it comes from a place that we can relate to too. So you're going to find that my lived experience is everything from the don't tread on me culture of Wyoming, where hunting and gun ownership are normal and non-threatening, to life in southern Texas, where we experience the reality of the failure of immigration policy to be efficient and effective at the same time as we love our immigrant friends and neighbors. You'll see characters in my book that reflect that international influx of people into our great country and reflect the time period and place in which they're set, whose entries here into this country culminate from a variety of journeys. I hope you love the flavor that gives my books as much as I do. It creates opportunity just in real life for a lot of drama, misunderstanding, and coming together. What you'll find on my page here is books. The Delaney Pace series, the Patrick Flint series, the Jen Harrington series, Katie Connell and the What Doesn't Kill You Super series, my new Runaway thriller series that's coming out. And then you find the Slice in the Life, my sled dogs, our draft horses, our travel. We do a lot of it, including a few months a year on a catamaran, our outdoor adventures, family, so much family. Between us, my husband and I have 5 kids and count our niece and nephew as part of our brood. You add in grandkids, partners, parents, siblings, more nieces and nephews, and you've got a small village. You'll find me expressing my sense of humor and any tidbits that I find that seem to reflect the things that I have in common with you based on how you show up on this page, which starts for most of you with my books. What you won't see is me preaching and pontificating. I do enough of that on the sly in my books. Sorry, not sorry. Just know this. I am humanity and family first, American second. I believe in the rule of law and that no one is above it. And I believe in due process and equal protection under the law. I'm a constitutionalist, and I decry anything that erodes our rights. Those kinds of things are great fiction fodder, but they're not the kind of world I strive to live in. You are welcome here. In this space, with me, with my other readers, no matter what your worldview is, as long as there's no name-calling, bullying, harassment, or hate speech in this space. In fact, I'd like it best if we reserved this space as an escape from all that goes wrong in the world, akin to diving between the covers of a book and immersing yourself in the pages. Feel free to reach out to me through my website, PamelaFaganHutchins.com, where you can also sign up for my newsletter, which will earn you some freebies and ensure that you don't miss out on any news about my books that might otherwise fly past you in the social media landscape. I'm glad you're here. I'm Pamela, and I approve of this message.